The town of Hollow Creek was quiet, too quiet. Nestled beside a vast, dark forest, it lived under a perpetual hush. Shadows stretched long and deep from the woods, swallowing the sunlight. Fear hung in the air, thick and heavy. Everyone in Hollow Creek knew the rule: stay out of the woods after dark. The legend of the Whistler haunted Hollow Creek. A chilling tale whispered around campfires. It spoke of a ghostly figure that lured unsuspecting souls into the woods. Its weapon was a haunting melody, a melody as beautiful as it was deadly. No one had ever seen the Whistler's face, but everyone knew the sound of his flute, a mournful, ethereal tune that seemed to weave its way into your very soul. It was a siren song, promising peace and tranquility, but it was a false promise, a deadly trap. The elders spoke of the Whistler in hushed tones, their eyes filled with a deep primal fear. They told stories of those who had been foolish enough to venture into the woods after dark, drawn in by the haunting melody, never to be seen again. The legend of the Whistler served as a warning, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the safety of the town. It was a story meant to keep people away from the woods, to keep them safe. Sarah was new to Hollow Creek. She had moved from the bustling city, seeking peace and quiet. The dense forest surrounding the town intrigued her. Its dark depths held a certain allure, a sense of mystery she couldn't resist. She loved to hike, and the thought of being forbidden from the woods after dark only made her more determined to explore. One evening, as the sun began to set, Sarah decided to venture into the woods. The shadows seemed to stretch and writhe, taking on sinister shapes. The air grew colder, a damp chill that seeped into Sarah's bones. She turned to go back, but the path seemed to have vanished. She was lost. Sarah quickened her pace, her heart pounding in her chest. She called out for help, but her voice was swallowed by the dense trees. And then she heard it, a haunting melody, both beautiful and terrifying. It was the sound of a flute, its notes weaving a spell of dread and despair. The melody drew her in, beckoning her deeper into the woods. She tried to resist, but her feet seemed to move of their own accord. And then she saw him. Standing in a clearing, bathed in moonlight, was a tall figure cloaked in shadow. He held a flute to his lips, its haunting melody flowing from its end. His face was hidden in the darkness, but Sarah could feel his gaze upon her. It was a gaze devoid of warmth or mercy. The music stopped abruptly, leaving a deafening silence in its wake. Sarah stood frozen, her blood turning to ice. The figure took a step toward her, and a cold wind rustled through the trees. It whispered her name. Sarah screamed, but it was too late. The figure was upon her, his shadowy arms reaching out to engulf her. The last thing she heard was the mournful sound of the flute echoing through the empty woods, a chilling serenade to her doom. Sarah was never seen again.